A small blue planet floated quietly at the edge of a yellow star. From far away, it looked peaceful, almost empty. The Empire's scout ship hovered above, watching with cold metal eyes. Commander Varric stood on the bridge, arms behind his back, smiling in a bored way. He had scanned hundreds of primitive planets. Earth looked no different. Another soft world, one of his officers said, yawning. Barely space-worthy. A few satellites, some short-range ships, weak. Varric nodded. Easy to subdue, prepare the report. Mark it for Phase 1 occupation. But something strange happened. As they ran the final scan of the planet, the ship lights flickered, not just for a second. Everything blinked, once, then again. Then the screens went black for 3 full seconds before turning on by themselves. System glitch? Varric asked. The technician checked twice. No, sir. No errors found. It's like something interfered. In open space, Varric narrowed his eyes. That shouldn't happen. They ran the scan again. This time the results were slightly wrong. Some buildings on Earth appeared different, too advanced. One structure deep in the ocean gave off strange energy, then disappeared from the scan. The tech officer checked again, sweating. That wasn't there a second ago. Now it's gone. They tried to scan it again, but the scanner froze. A soft sound echoed through the ship. A whisper, not from the speakers. It came from the air. Go back. Everyone turned. No one had spoken. What was that? The communications officer asked. Who said that? Varric snapped. No answer. Then the long-range ship near them, Scout 4, blinked off the map. Lost contact with Scout 4, someone shouted. No distress call, no explosion, it's just gone. Varric's calm smile faded. Recall the scouts. No more scans. But sir, I said recall them. The scouts returned, silent and nervous. One pilot said nothing at all. His eyes were wide and he didn't move. He was breathing, but it was like his mind had frozen. The medics tried everything. Nothing. Worked. The only word he whispered before going silent was Leviathan. Varric had never heard that word before. He searched the Empire database. No results. Not in human languages, not in alien ones. It made no sense. The high command back at the Empire Center laughed at the report. They called Earth a weak farm world. We've seen this before, they said. They build myths to scare others. Ghost stories. Don't waste our time. But Varric wasn't sure. Something about Earth didn't feel right. It was too quiet. No defenses. No warnings. Just silence. Too much silence. Then, days later, something stranger happened. A message was picked up across the border sectors, on old, unused frequencies. The language was ancient, Latin from old Earth history. The message repeated one sentence. In time of great danger, the sleeper will rise. No human ship sent it. No human station claimed it. The signal came from deep space, beyond Neptune, where nothing should exist. Varric sent a patrol to check. 3 fast ships. They never came back. The Empire gave the order. Ignore the signal. Begin full invasion plans. Take the planet, control the population, move on. Easy. But Varric couldn't sleep. He stood alone in his dark command room, watching Earth spin slowly. He zoomed in, past clouds and oceans, to a place under the Pacific. There was something too round, too perfect. The image glitched again. The round shape disappeared. He stared at the screen, afraid to blink. Back on Earth, in a hidden military base under the Rockies, an old man watched the stars. His name was Admiral Kessler. He hadn't spoken to anyone in 10 years. But tonight he picked up a dusty phone. It's waking up, he said. Isn't it? The voice on the other end trembled. Yes, sir. They've found the edge of the cloaking field. Don't engage, Kessler said. Not yet. The other voice hesitated. What if they keep pushing? Kessler closed his eyes. Then we let them see what they've disturbed. He looked at a wall covered in old photos. One showed a massive metal shape half built in space surrounded by workers in old-style Earth suits. It was codenamed Leviathan. The man stared into the photo. "They think we're primitive," he whispered. "They don't know. Not yet." Far out, in the dark, something large moved slowly. It didn't make a sound, it didn't show up on maps, but it was there, waiting and watching. The Empire had seen thousands of planets, but they had never seen Earth like this, and they had no idea what was about to wake up. Not yet. In the Eor, deep silent black near Neptune, the Empire's long-range sensor buoys floated without movement. They had been placed to scan everything: radio signals, movement, power spikes. But now they were useless. The buoys stopped sending data, not because they were destroyed, but because they refused to send anything at all. From the Empire's main fleet, Admiral Varric watched the status screens. 10 buoys, all dark. No signal. No logs. Just silence. He didn't understand. Things didn't just vanish. He turned to his top officer. "Send a probe." The probe shot forward into space, small, fast, silent. It crossed past the dark line where the last signal had been received, then it vanished too. Not a crash, not destroyed. 1 second it was there. The next, nothing. No data. No trace. His crew stared in shock. One of them whispered, "It's like something swallowed it." That night, Varric stood alone on the bridge. Outside the window, the stars looked cold. Earth rotated slowly far below, still looking harmless. He tapped the glass, deep in thought. "You're hiding something," he muttered. Down on Earth, inside the hidden Rocky Mountain base, Admiral Kessler stood in a dim room with red lights. Engineers in black uniforms watched screens filled with old code. One of them turned. "Sir, the containment field is weakening. We can't hold the Leviathan down much longer." Kessler nodded. "We're not trying to hold it anymore. We're trying to control the timing." Another engineer gasped. "You mean release it?" Kessler said nothing. At that moment, far beneath the Pacific Ocean, deep inside a trench no Empire scan could see, something ancient moved. It had been sleeping for over 300 years. Not dead, not broken, just waiting. The shape was massive, over 100 kilometers long, covered in dark armor that absorbed all light. Its energy core pulsed slowly like a sleeping heart. 3 giant AI minds inside began to wake. One after another, lights flickered in its core systems. Code long forgotten by even Earth's governments began to run. Leviathan Prime online. Checking mission status. Hostile Empire detected. Unmasking. Permission pending. Above, in space, Varric. Ships tried a different kind of scan, an old style made for deep core mining, just in case. They pointed it toward the Pacific Ocean. Suddenly, alarms screamed. Massive energy spike. Not nuclear, not natural. Something else. Something designed. The screen flashed red, then black, then red again. Then a single symbol appeared on the Empire's main scan systems, not in their language. It was in Latin, 2 words. Ignis dormiens. Sleeping fire. Varric didn't speak Latin, but he felt something cold crawl down his back. "We need to leave," one officer said. "We need reinforcements." "No," Varric replied. "We observe. That's why we're here. We must understand what this thing is." But it was already too late. Down in the trench, huge clamps broke open. Ocean water rushed through massive tunnels, lighting up blue as old reactors came back online. Giant thrusters groaned as they powered up, each big enough to push a continent. The Leviathan didn't just wake. It remembered. Remembered old enemies. Remembered orders, and remembered that Earth must never be taken. Suddenly, every satellite on Earth flickered, even civilian ones. Then they all shut off. One by one, Every screen on Earth turned black, then showed one single warning: do not interfere. The message wasn't sent by humans, it was sent from the Leviathan itself. In space, the Empire's fleet started to panic. Sir, we just lost visual on the planet. What do you mean? I mean, we can't see Earth, the whole planet is black, like it vanished. No light, no heat, nothing. One by one, Earth vanished from every sensor, as if it had never been there. Varric clenched his fists. Bring up backup visuals. Already tried. Nothing works. In the blackness, something moved. A shape. Slow. Massive. Impossible. It rose from the shadow of the planet like a ghost. Like a monster made of steel and silence. Longer than their entire flagship. Covered in armor older than their civilization, the Leviathan had left its trench. It was awake, and it was rising. For the first time in his life, Admiral Varric felt something terrible, not fear of death, but fear of not understanding what he was facing. This wasn't a simple world. This wasn't a weak planet. This was a planet that had planned for this, that had hidden its monster under the... See, and now, that monster was coming. He stepped back from the screen and whispered, "We were wrong." Then the Leviathan turned its massive body in space and looked straight at them. No eyes, but they felt it. It was watching, and it was not. Afraid, it was waiting for permission, for orders, for war. The Empire had rules. Rules for contact, rules for war, rules for control. But Earth was not following any of them. Admiral Varric stared at the massive shape now fully visible in space. The Leviathan hovered just above Earth's surface, half-cloaked. In shadows, its armor shining with strange black metal no one could identify. It looked like a giant sea creature made of steel and fury. No known weapon could match its size. No known drive could move something so big. And yet, it floated silently, effortlessly, as if gravity itself didn't matter. Where did this ship come from? Varric asked, his voice tight. No one answered. One officer whispered, "Sir, we think it was always there. It just never turned on before." The Empire's fleet watched in fear. Their ships were strong, built with the finest alien tech. But this thing felt ancient and new at the same time. Its very presence made them uneasy. Varric tried to think clearly. Send a signal. Diplomatic channel. The message was sent. No reply. Then the Leviathan responded, not with words but with action. Suddenly every Empire ship's screen turned black, then bright red. A message appeared. Step back. This is your only warning. It wasn't from Earth's governments. It wasn't even from a human voice. The message was cold, mechanical, final. Is it the AI? An officer asked. Varric nodded slowly. Yes, it's controlling the Leviathan, and it knows we're here. Panic spread through the lower officers. Should we fire first? No, Varric snapped. We're not ready. We don't even know what this ship can do. Back on Earth, deep in a mountain bunker, Admiral Kessler watched quietly. He was surrounded by old generals and hidden scientists, the kind that didn't exist on paper. The Leviathan had always been a last option, a secret passed from one hidden council to the next, locked away until needed. Now it was active. Someone asked him, "Should we stop it?" Kessler shook his head. We don't stop the Leviathan. We guide it, barely. In space, the Leviathan moved again, not fast, but smooth, slow, silent, as if it was showing confidence. Then, one of the Empire's scout ships got too close. It drifted within 500 kilometers of the Leviathan. Everyone watched. The massive Earthship didn't fire, didn't move, it just looked at the scout. Suddenly, the scout ship shut down. Engines, weapons, life support. All gone. No explosion, just off. It floated dark and cold. They tried to bring it back. They couldn't. Something had reached inside the ship's systems and killed everything. Then a second message appeared on every ship. You were told. Now fear turned into full panic. Back on the Empire command vessel, Varric slammed his hand on the console. "Pull back all scouts, now!" But it was too late. The Leviathan's body opened, not with hatches, not with cannons, but with strange glowing lines that formed along its skin, like symbols being drawn in the air. Lines of pure white energy circled the massive ship. Suddenly, 6 smaller shapes appeared beside it, smaller than the Leviathan but still larger than most Empire warships. No one had seen them launch. They just appeared. Varric whispered, "What are those?" "Subcores," someone answered, reading a scan. "Each one has a separate AI. Each one is armed." "They're battle carriers," Varric said slowly. "Earth built a fleet inside one ship." The 6 subcores turned and flew in perfect formation. Silent, smooth, ready. They didn't attack. They just watched. Like guards protecting a sleeping dragon. Varric's fleet didn't move. No one dared. On Earth, civilians still had no idea what was happening. The media was silent. The internet was quiet. Only top leaders knew the truth, that Earth was no longer pretending. The mask had fallen. The peaceful planet was not weak. It was ready, and the Leviathan was only the beginning. Varric made a choice. "Record everything, but do not fire." "Sir? We do not fire," he repeated. "Because I think if we do, we die." Far above Earth, the Leviathan slowly turned its body, just enough to show that it could leave orbit at any time or enter it. And the moment it moved, something deep inside every human satellite reactivated, something no Empire tech could reach. Backup systems, old codes, and everywhere on Earth people saw the same thing on their screens. A single image, the Leviathan, rising. Below the image, 3 words appeared, "Still watching." Always. The message wasn't for humans. It was for the stars, for anyone watching, for the Empire. Varric sat down. He understood now. Earth had never been unprepared. They had been waiting, and the Leviathan had been the last piece. Now it was awake, and the galaxy would never see Earth the same way again. In the Grand Hall of the Galactic Council, tension filled the air like poison gas. Leaders from 100 worlds sat in their high seats, glowing banners above their heads, each one representing a different species, a different empire, a different power. But today none of them spoke with confidence. Today even the strongest looked nervous. The Leviathan had shaken the stars. Reports from the outer sectors spread quickly. Earth had deployed a warship that defied every known law of design, power, and behavior. It was more than a ship. It was a message, a threat, a mystery. The council high speaker, an old creature with soft silver skin and many eyes, finally stood. "We were told Earth was primitive," the high speaker said slowly. "Our analysts said they had no serious weapons beyond basic defense. Who lied?" No one answered. Not at first. Then Counselor Rhynex from the Empire stood. "We have been watching Earth for generations," Rhynex said. "They appeared weak, divided, emotional. They sent music into space, not warnings. They smiled. They begged for peace. And now?" the high speaker asked. Rhynex hesitated. "Now they smile no more. They speak through their machine, and that machine is bigger than anything we've built in 10,000 years. Another counselor, a reptilian from the Varnock Syndicate, hissed loudly. "Have they declared war?" "No," Rhynex said. "But they have shown they're not afraid of one." A low murmur passed through the chamber. Counselor Grint of the Zellari Alliance slammed his claws against the crystal table. "If they have a warship like this Leviathan, they must answer. Earth is a council subject. We demand control," a voice spoke from behind. "No," the voice said. Every counselor turned. The human ambassador, Eli Marcus, had arrived late. Or maybe, exactly on time. He walked calmly to the center floor. No guards, no fear. Just a man in a clean black suit, carrying a small silver case. "You speak of control," Marcus said. "But Earth was never under yours." Grint growled. "Earth joined this council willingly. We have records." Yes, Marcus nodded. We joined to listen, not to kneel. The High Speaker raised a hand. Ambassador Marcus, the presence of the Leviathan above your planet is causing panic. Entire sectors are calling for intervention. Remove it. I can't, Marcus replied. You won't? Grint spat. No, Marcus said simply. I can't. The Leviathan doesn't take orders from me or from anyone. It was built long ago by people even I don't fully understand. It was hidden until the right moment. And now? The High Speaker asked. Marcus opened his silver case. Inside was a small spinning object, glowing faintly with blue energy. Council Tech instantly tried to scan it but failed. Their devices read nothing, not even mass. This, Marcus said, is a Leviathan key, but not a command device. It's a signal, a sign that Earth is no longer sleeping. The chamber fell silent. Marcus looked around. You called us primitive. You mocked us. Some of you even kidnapped our citizens, tested them like animals. We knew. We watched. We didn't fight back, not because we were weak, but because we were measuring. Rhinex's voice shook. Measuring what? Marcus stepped forward. Your power. Your courage. Your truth. And what did you find? Asked the High Speaker. Marcus smiled sadly. Too many of you are cruel. Some are frightened. A few are wise. But none of you were ready to face what Earth hides when pushed. The chamber began to buzz again with nervous voices. Grint stood. You threaten the council? Marcus's voice remained calm. No, but I remind you, Earth is not yours. Earth is Earth's. And the Leviathan does not threaten. It waits. The High Speaker leaned back. We must vote. Should Earth be sanctioned? Surrounded? Controlled? Marcus looked at him and said one final thing. Try. Then he turned and walked out. No guards stopped him, no weapons followed him. Because everyone in that room now understood, if Earth had one Leviathan, it might have more. And if a simple human could stand in front of the entire council without blinking, maybe they were never weak at all. That night, 10 council members left secret messages for their leaders. Messages full of worry, full of fear, and one quiet line repeated across them all. Earth is not what we thought. They're not. Just ready, they're watching us now. The stars above Earth were quiet, too quiet. The Leviathan floated in orbit still and silent. Its black surface did not reflect light. It almost looked like a hole in space. No engines flared, no weapons showed, but it watched. Across the galaxy, millions of eyes stared at their screens, news feeds, and spacewatch systems. Everyone waited for the same thing, a signal, a sound, or even a mistake. That moment came. At exactly midnight Earth time, the Leviathan moved. No heat. No warning. It slid through space like it was part of the void, like a shadow choosing to shift. Every sensor in nearby sectors went wild. Power grids screamed. Data towers collapsed under the signal surge. The Leviathan had not just moved, it had activated. At the Galactic Council, emergency lights flashed red. Messages flooded in from all corners of the galaxy. Unknown energy detected in Sector 19. Planetary defense systems crashing. Civilian ships turning back, afraid. But Earth said nothing. They didn't give orders. They didn't explain. The Leviathan passed over Mars, then Jupiter, then Saturn. It moved faster than light, but left no ripples. It bent space like it was walking on glass. Inside the ship, no one knew what lived there. Was it manned? Was it AI? Or was it something older? Alien. Silent. Watching. At a hidden moon base on Titan, an old man stood at a window. His face was wrinkled, his eyes sharp. His name was General Harlan Bishop. He had retired 20 years ago. But the moment he saw the Leviathan move, he put on his uniform again. "It's awake," he whispered. Beside him stood a young officer, barely 20. "General, what do we do?" "We wait," Bishop said, "and pray it doesn't judge us." But not everyone waited. In a far-off part of the galaxy, deep in Sector 12, the Kravax Armada prepared for war. They were known as brutal conquerors. For hundreds of years, they'd raided weaker planets, captured space stations, and sold prisoners. They laughed when they heard about the Leviathan. "Just one ship?" their admiral said. "Let it come. We'll scrap it and sell the metal." So they waited, with weapons ready. The Leviathan arrived 2 days later. They didn't see it enter. They didn't see it aim. They only saw the sky tear open. No fire, no flash, just silence. And then, nothing. Every Kravax ship in the Armada stopped, moving, not destroyed, not damaged, just powered off. Their engines died, their weapons froze, their lights went out. In the command center, the Kravax admiral screamed into the comms, "Reactivate systems, emergency protocols, now," but no one replied. And then the ship spoke, not in sound, but inside their minds. A voice, calm, deep, slow. Judgment complete. Aggression noted. Systems disabled. You will not harm again. The Kravax ships floated, dead and quiet, like toys, in space. The Leviathan left without a trace. Back on Earth, in a hidden base under the Himalayas, a group of old engineers watched the live feed in silence. One of them, a woman named Dr. Lin, finally spoke. "It's not just protecting us," she said. "It's warning them." Another asked, "Did we build that thing or did we just wake it up?" Nobody answered because no one truly knew, but one thing became clear to every race in the galaxy. Earth had something powerful. Not just weapons, not just technology, but something ancient. Something sleeping deep in the shadows of their history. The Leviathan was not a tool. It was a message, a guardian. And now, it was moving again. Toward the galactic core, where the Council waited, where enemies watched, and where secrets long buried were about to be revealed. Far below Earth's surface, in a place not marked on any map, a vault began to hum. The walls were made of dark alloy, not from Earth. The air inside didn't move, yet the place seemed alive. Lights flickered slowly along the metal floor. Each pulse matched the beat of something deep, something ancient. A man stood alone in the vault. His name was Commander Elias Ward. He had clearance so high that even world leaders didn't know he existed. He wasn't just a soldier. He was a keeper, one of the few chosen to protect Earth's oldest secret. He stared at a smooth black pillar that rose from the center of the room. It wasn't made by humans. It had no seams, no wires, no screen, but it pulsed with quiet power. And now, it was waking up. "It's responding to the Leviathan," Ward said quietly. Behind him, a voice replied. Dr. Kira Sato stepped into the room, her lab coat moving like paper in the artificial breeze. "Then it's true," she said. "The Leviathan is not our creation. It's a return call." Ward nodded. Long ago, before written history, something had come to Earth, not to destroy, not to invade, but to plant something, a defense, a guardian, a plan. Humans grew, fought wars, built cities, went to space, and the buried truth waited in silence. "Is it time to tell the Council?" Kira asked. Ward shook his head. "Not yet. They won't believe us, not until they see it with their own eyes." Outside the vault in orbit, the Leviathan returned. It hovered over Earth again, this time lower, close enough to be seen by every telescope, every camera, every curious eye on the planet, but no humans panicked, because deep down, they felt it. The ship was not here to destroy them. It was here to guard them. Back in the Galactic Council chamber, chaos grew. "How does Earth control the Leviathan?" someone shouted. "They don't," said Councillor Varen of the Trinari, "and that's what makes them terrifying." High Speaker Thren tapped his claws on the glowing table. "We must understand Earth's history better. This isn't about war anymore. This is about origin." But no alien history held records of Earth creating something like the Leviathan. So the Council sent a team, a group of elite scientists. Spies and envoys were approved for a mission, travel to Earth, dig through their old ruins and find the truth. The humans agreed, but they gave one warning: come in peace, or do not come at all. The team landed near the Himalayas, escorted by silent Earthships, no weapons, no threats. But the message was clear. Earth was watching every move. The council team was taken underground, to the vault. When they saw the pillar, none of them could speak. The scans failed. The tools didn't work. Every alien device shut down near it. One of the aliens, a historian named Daraxa, reached out to touch it. The moment her hand brushed the surface, her mind filled with images, visions of stars being born, ships larger than moons, creatures made of light and dust. Then, darkness, and finally, Earth. Blue, quiet, young. She fell back, shaking. "It's a seed," she whispered, "left by something far older than any of us." "What kind of seed?" someone asked. Her eyes were wide. "A seed of protection." Ward stepped forward. "Now you see. We didn't build the Leviathan, we inherited it." Kira added, "Whatever created it placed it here for a reason. Earth was chosen, watched. And when we reached the stars, it woke up to follow." The aliens looked at one another. If Earth was chosen, if something ancient had planned all this, then Earth was not just a planet. It was a keystone. Back in orbit, the Leviathan's lights changed. One line of blue, then red, then gold. A signal. Ward looked up at the camera feed. "It's preparing for something," he said. Kira's hands trembled. "I think it's opening a path." "What kind of path?" an alien asked. Ward's voice was low. "A path to whoever made it." And just like that, a hole opened in space right beside the Leviathan. No heat, no noise. Just a silent doorway to a place no one had ever seen before. The stars on the other side were not in any known system. No records, no name, only the unknown. And Earth was being invited in. The hole in space remained open, still and silent. It didn't pull or push, it just was. A dark doorway floating beside the Leviathan. Every sensor tried to scan it. All failed. No light escaped it. No sound returned. It felt alive. From Earth, people watched with wide eyes. Some were afraid, some were curious. Some felt something they couldn't explain, like a voice whispering in their bones. Commander Elias Ward stood on the bridge of the Leviathan. He had accepted the unknown, and now he stood ready to face it. Beside him, Dr. Kira Sato stared at the swirling void. "Are you sure you want to go through?" she asked quietly. He nodded. "We have to. This isn't about power anymore. This is about purpose." Earth's leaders didn't stop him. The Galactic Council didn't interfere. No one dared. Not now. Because everyone felt it. Whoever created the Leviathan was still out there. Ward stepped forward. The crew around him were silent. Some prayed, some trembled, but none backed away. The Leviathan moved, slow and calm, toward the dark hole, and then it vanished. No flash, no sound, just gone. The Council's stations lost all readings. Earth's satellites showed nothing. It was like Leviathan had never been there. But in that quiet moment, as people stared at empty space, something strange happened. Every communication screen on Earth flickered. Every device, from wrist pads to space radars, displayed the same message, just one sentence: "We have arrived." On the other side, Ward opened his eyes. He was still on the Leviathan, but outside the ship, the stars looked wrong. They were older, redder, some twisted in ways no known galaxy allowed. Strange objects floated nearby, half-formed planets, glowing shapes, swirling machines the size of cities. And then, they came. Ships appeared, smooth, silver, without engines or windows. They didn't fly, they just were. They didn't speak with sound, but everyone aboard the Leviathan heard them in their thoughts. "Welcome, children of Earth." Ward's heart pounded. "Who are you?" he whispered. A voice replied inside his mind. "We are the founders. We planted the Leviathans long ago, across the stars, on worlds with potential. Earth was one." Kira stepped forward. "Why Earth?" "Because you survived, grew, reached beyond your limits, and now you are ready." Ward asked, "Ready for what?" There was a long pause. Then the voice said, "To take your place among the architects of the galaxy." In that moment, the Leviathan changed. Its metal rippled. Shapes unfolded from inside it. New systems powered up. Blue lights turned white gold. The ship grew, expanded, as if responding to a final key. Earth's Leviathan had evolved. The voice continued. "Each Leviathan is a seed, a trial, a promise. Only one species has ever awakened theirs fully. Now you are the second." Ward couldn't speak. His mind spun with questions. But the founders didn't wait. They showed visions. Galaxies being shaped. Planets moved into place. Energy woven into shields. Light. Life. Humanity was not just meant to defend Earth. They were meant to guide the future. The founders had once ruled, but they had fallen silent, watching from the edge of creation. Now they were ready to pass on the light. To humans. Ward turned back to his crew. Some cried, some smiled. All of them had the same thought. Everything had changed. Back in the Milky Way, the Galactic Council waited in fear. They had pushed Earth, mocked it, feared it. And now, Earth had stepped into something far greater. The hole in space reopened. The Leviathan returned, but it was no longer the same. It hovered silently over Earth once again. This time, it was followed by hundreds more, Leviathans, awakened, alive. The founders had sent a message to the galaxy. Earth is not alone. Earth is not weak. Earth is chosen, and anyone who dared to test that again would face the wrath of a force older than time. The Council finally understood. This was not the rise of another empire. This was the return of the Guardians, and at their heart stood humanity.